There's more advice about passive income on the internet right now than at any point in human history. YouTube channels, Reddit threads, TikTok tutorials, courses about how to build courses. And yet, the vast majority of people who try to build passive income don't. They start, they stall, they stop, and they usually blame themselves. I want to suggest a different explanation. The problem isn't that passive income doesn't work. It does. The problem is that most of the advice circulating about how to build it is quietly, subtly, expensively wrong. Not wrong like a scam, wrong like a map that's almost accurate. You follow it with good intentions and end up somewhere you didn't mean to go. In this video, I'm going to name 7 of those wrong maps, 7 myths about passive income that are so widely repeated they feel like wisdom. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong with each one and what to believe instead. If one of these myths is why you've stalled, I want you to hear that clearly. You're not the problem. The advice was. Let's get into it. Myth number 1. Passive income means you don't have to work. This is the most damaging myth on the list because it's the one that sells the wrong expectation before you even start. The word passive doesn't describe the effort required to build something. It describes what happens after you've built it. Let's be specific. A YouTube channel that earns passive ad revenue requires topic research, scripting, recording, editing, thumbnail design, SEO optimization, and consistent publishing for 12 to 24 months before meaningful passive income appears. A rental property that earns passive cash flow requires finding the property, financing it, making a down payment, handling repairs, finding tenants, and managing the relationship. A digital product that sells while you sleep requires creating the product, designing it, writing sales copy, setting up a store, and building or buying an audience to send to it. None of those are passive activities. They're investments of time and effort that, if executed correctly, eventually produce income that no longer requires you to trade hours for dollars. That's the right definition. Passive income is the income stage of an asset you had to actively build first. Expect the work. Plan for the work. The work is the whole point. Myth number 2. You need to build multiple income streams at the same time as quickly as possible. You've heard this one. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. We covered this in a previous video. And the data is real, but the conclusion most people draw from it is not. 7 income streams is the result, not the method. Here's what actually happens when someone tries to build 5 income streams simultaneously from zero. Each one gets 20% of their attention. None of them reach critical mass. After 6 months, there are 5 projects at 10% completion, earning nothing, and a person who's convinced themselves that passive income doesn't work. What actually works is embarrassingly simple. Build one thing until it works. Not until it's perfect, not until it's earning millions, until it's working. 1 YouTube channel, 1 Etsy store, 1 affiliate website, 1 newsletter. One thing built with focused and consistent attention reaches profitability faster than 5 things built with divided attention. The second income stream gets built after this first one is stable. With the capital, audience, skills, and confidence the first one created. The millionaires with 7 income streams built them one at a time. That's how they have 7. Myth number 3. You need money to make money. This one has just enough truth in it to be dangerous. Yes, capital accelerates growth. Having $10,000 to invest in better equipment, paid ads, outsourced content, and premium tools makes building faster. That part is true. But capital accelerates growth is not the same as capital is required to start. And that distinction is where people get stuck. Here's an actual list of income-earning assets that you can build with less than $10. A Gumroad or PayHip digital product store, free. A Beehive newsletter with up to 2,500 free subscribers, Free. A YouTube channel? Free. An Etsy store for digital downloads? 20 cents per listing. An affiliate content website on shared hosting? Under $4 a month. What these all have in common, the primary input is not money, it's time and knowledge. If you know how to do something that other people want to learn, you can package it as a PDF guide, a Notion template, a short course, or a YouTube video series, and start earning from it before you've spent $1. Money doesn't create passive income. Assets create passive income. And many of the most valuable assets in this space cost almost nothing to build. Capital helps. A laptop and a library card is enough to start. Myth number 4. Passive income is mostly about investing. Put your money in index funds, let it grow, and you're done. This myth is interesting because it's not wrong. It's just incomplete in a way that's particularly harmful for people who are starting from near zero. Here's the distinction that changes everything. Investing compounds wealth. It doesn't create it. If you invest $10,000 at 8% annually in 30 years, you have roughly $100,000. That's real, that's powerful, but it requires having $10,000 to invest in the first place. For most people, building passive income from scratch, the sequence isn't invest, then compound. The sequence is build an asset, generate cash flow, then invest the surplus to compound. The businesses, content platforms, and digital products we cover on this channel aren't investment strategies. They're wealth creation strategies. The income they produce gets invested. That's when compounding takes over. Index funds are an excellent tool for preserving and growing wealth that already exists. They're a poor tool for creating wealth from nothing. If you're starting from scratch, your first job isn't to pick the right ETF. It's to build something that generates cash flow you can eventually invest. Create first, compound later. That's the actual sequence. Myth number 5. AI makes passive income easy. Just generate the content, publish it, and collect the money. This myth is the newest one on this list and the fastest growing, and it's causing real harm right now. Here's what AI actually does extremely well. It produces, drafts articles, writes product descriptions, generates outlines, formats documents, helps brainstorm angles, at volume, at speed, with impressive quality. Here's what AI cannot do. It cannot replicate strategy, positioning, judgment, or trust. Strategy is knowing which keywords to target, which products to build, which audience to serve, and which problems are underserved. That requires market research, human judgment, and often first-hand experience. Positioning is knowing how to differentiate what you're building from the 10,000 other similar things that exist. That's not a content problem, it's a thinking problem. Trust is what makes someone buy from you instead of the other option. Trust is built by consistency, specificity, genuine expertise, and time. AI-generated content that lacks those qualities is recognizable, and audiences are getting better at recognizing it every month. The creators using AI most effectively right now are using it to produce faster, but they're still doing the strategic thinking, the audience building, and the editorial judgment themselves. AI is a force multiplier, not a replacement for the human work that makes passive income possible. The shortcut it offers is real. The promise that it eliminates the need for strategy is not. Myth number 6. You need thousands of followers before you can earn anything meaningful. This myth functions as a delayed start mechanism. It convinces people that their current audience size is the barrier, so they keep postponing launching until they reach some arbitrary threshold. The actual math tells a different story. A YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers and a 0.5% product conversion rate has 500 potential buyers. A newsletter with 1,000 subscribers and a 10% product conversion rate also has 100 potential buyers. The channel's audience is 100 times larger. The result is 5 times larger. But the newsletter needed 100 times fewer people to get a meaningful result. Why the difference? Trust, relationship, specificity. An email subscriber who opened your last 6 newsletters and downloaded your free guide knows you. They've made repeated micro commitments to your content. When you launch a product, they're not a cold prospect, they're a warm one. A subscriber who clicked on your video from a trending thumbnail has no relationship with you at all. The goal isn't a big number. The goal is a number of people who trust you specifically on the topic you're building around. 1,000 people who trust you beats 100,000 people who don't know you every single time. Myth number 7, and in some ways the most consequential one on this list. Passive income starts passive. It doesn't. It never has for anyone. Here's the actual life cycle of almost every passive income asset. Phase 1 is fully active. You're building, creating content, publishing products, building an audience, writing emails, setting up systems. The income during this phase is minimal, sometimes zero. The work during this phase is maximum. This phase is where most people quit. They expected passive. They got active. And they interpret that gap as evidence that passive income doesn't work, when actually it means they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Phase 2 is semi-passive. The asset is established, it's earning, but it still needs tending. New content, occasional updates, responding to your audience, testing, and improving. The income is real now and growing. The effort is real but reduced. Phase 3 is compounding. The asset is mature. It ranks in search. It has an established audience. It earns while you sleep, while you travel, while you build the next asset. The income continues with maintenance level effort. The timeline from phase 1 to phase 3 is typically 12 to 24 months for content-based assets. Shorter for digital product stores, longer for highly competitive SEO-driven sites. The people earning meaningful passive income today put in fully active effort 2 years ago and didn't stop. There's no asset that generates passive income from the first day it exists. There are only assets that eventually do after the active phase is complete. So if those are the myths, here's what's true. The real formula for passive income isn't a secret. It's not complex, but it requires something most advice glosses over. It requires time in the right sequence. Step 1, build an asset, something that will eventually generate income without requiring your continuous presence. A YouTube channel, an affiliate blog, a digital product, a rental property, a newsletter. Step 2, build an audience, not a massive one, a trusted one. People who follow you specifically because they find your content, your products, or your perspective valuable. Step 3, build an email list, the asset you own outright, the audience that no algorithm can take from you, your direct line to the people who are most likely to buy what you build. Step 4, sell something. A product, a service, an affiliate recommendation, access to your content. Validate that your audience will exchange money for what you're offering. Step 5, reinvest. Invest the surplus into better tools, more content, paid distribution, or the next asset. This is how the stack grows. Step 6, repeat with the next asset. Faster this time because you have the skills, audience, capital, and confidence that you didn't have at step 1. None of these steps are passive. Each one is intentional, sequential work. The passive income comes later, as the compounding reward for having done them. And here's what makes this formula different from the myths. Every step makes the next one more effective. The audience amplifies the product sales. The email list amplifies the audience. The reinvestment amplifies everything. That's not a hustle strategy. That's a compounding machine. 7 myths. All of them widely believed, all of them keeping people stuck. Myth 1. Passive income requires no work. Wrong. It requires front-loaded work. Myth 2. You need multiple streams immediately. Wrong. You need one that works first. Myth 3. You need money to start. Wrong. You need knowledge and time. Myth 4. Passive income is mostly investing. Wrong. Investing compounds wealth. It doesn't create it from zero. Myth 5. AI makes it easy. Wrong. AI speeds production. Strategy and trust are still human work. Myth 6. You need thousands of followers. Wrong. You need a few hundred people who trust you. Myth 7. It starts passive. Wrong. It starts fully active and earns the right to become passive over time. The thing that connects all 7 of these myths is the same thing. They all misrepresent where the work actually goes. Passive income is the reward for building something durable. The work is real. The timeline is real. The result, income that continues without your constant presence, is also real. You just have to build it the right way. Before you go, I want to know which of these 7 myths held you back the longest, or still does. Drop it in the comments. I read all of them, and I'm genuinely curious whether the pattern I see on this channel matches what I think it is. If I'm guessing, it's myth 7, the timeline expectation. That one gets most people. In the future, we're going practical. The ideal order for building your first digital assets, which one to build first, which comes second, and how each one funds the next. If the formula I just laid out resonates with you, the video is the step-by-step version. Hit subscribe so you can catch it when it drops. This is Evergreen Income. The compounding starts now.